Right, so we are in for push. I am currently 2.5 weeks out to the PCA and 3.5 weeks out to the JT Classic. So it's pretty close. We are pretty close. We are joined by my fantastic girlfriend, which I rarely ever say my girlfriend. That sounds a bit weird to say out loud. I'm joined by my girlfriend, Sanaya from Sanaya Fitness. Sanaya, say hello.
Hi guys.
So pretty much we have just got off a bit of an in-person meeting with Robin from Got Merch.
Yeah.
So me and Sanaya have actually been training this session together for the last couple of weeks, and we didn't plan to train together today, but we've all had a bit of a meeting in person, a business meeting before the session. And I said to Sanaya, oh well, we've been training this session together. Do you want to do the session together? So for me, it's push. For Sanaya, it's also push. So we've been doing push, and pretty much at this point, it is going to be a case of, I don't want to say ticking boxes because training's been in a productive spot. I've got a little bit of a niggle with my front delt, so I have to be a little bit careful. I just don't want to make it worse. But pretty much this session is going to be just going through my current push session on a Friday at 2.5 and 3.5 weeks out, which is going to be, again, pretty wild to say out loud, like 2.5 weeks out, like it is crazy. I say that and it's like, wow, 2 weeks. But I'm in that point of prep now where like 2 weeks, like it doesn't sound like a long time, but when you're into it, it's like, it feels really long.
Yeah, but your first prep was a lot longer than this prep, so it'll feel different because this time, last time you were like only just halfway out.
True.
Halfway into your prep.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a weird one. But either way, we'll take you through it as always. We're starting off with the machine lateral raise. Yes, a lateral raise. We're doing 3 sets here, doing dual arm. It's not a very heavy stack. The one we've been using at Future Fitness is a little bit heavier, so we might have to like rig a bit of weight on here. I would ask for a gym pin, but Zach Foringham wanted to beat me up one time because I bent his gym pin. So I don't think I'm going to ask Zach for his gym pin because he wanted to beat me up because I bent his gym pin. So yeah, sorry Zach. But otherwise, we'll get into this, and like I said, starting off with a lateral raise, and then we'll get into the presses. Sound.
You're gonna get beat up from that comment.
Yeah.
Drip Eliante, pulling up, feeling like Harry Belafonte. Look at my racks, feel like Serena went hit from the back. Swing, pull like Jim, waves on swim, Anorak Tims with the tech. Butterfly doors on the Tesla, I just spend shit on gas.
So, Sanaya is currently. So
I'm not telling anyone my code 8.
okay, Sanaya's in hashtag ghost mode, whatever people say.
I've never said that before.
Either way, okay, Sanaya, cut it out. Sanaya is blank weeks out. As you can probably tell, quite close. Like not as close as me, but close. And I'm pretty much at this point for Sanaya. Obviously, training like still in a good spot, isn't it? So
it's not as good of a spot as yours is in, but it's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay relative.
It's because I'm just taking loads of PDs and Sanaya's not. So that's basically just take more drugs and you'll be fine. Don't do that. When it comes to Sanaya's training, I try not to have too much of an input, but her side lateral raises are always something that just annoys me. Since like we don't really train with each other that much. If we're on holiday, when we're in Canada, we train together, and when we're like, let's say, on holiday together, we'll train. But we rarely ever train together. But her lateral raise is always annoying me. So if you watch if you watch it, you understand it yourself. It's more so torso position. So now it has like a period of time where she'll end up kind of extending, or no, she'll like flex her spine, but then also like drive with her pinky, her first finger. So it turns into like a front delt raise that's initiated through her rear delts, and it just looks horrendously awkward.
It's on purpose.
And as a result of it, her side delts sometimes aren't the best. So
sometimes, no, clearly all the time.
Yeah, they're not the best. I didn't want to say that. So basically, this is the only exercise that I actually try and comment on her form. Other than that, I'm like, her pressing's really good, everything's pretty good. Sanaya's objectively better than me in most situations when it comes to bodybuilding. So, yeah.
You're just a powerlifter, ego lifter.
I'm not really. So, yeah, I'm really not. I mean, at this point, no chance. So, yeah, a few little bits of form, but I don't really comment too much. At the end of the day, like, we just train. I'd hate it if we were training and I'd be like, you got to do this, you got to. Yeah, I wouldn't want to coach somebody. It wouldn't be good fun. So, 2 sets down for you.
Yeah.
1 set down for me on this. No. Can you see Sanaya as well a little bit? Maybe get her a bit involved.
You don't need to. It's a reel for you.
No. But I'd want you to be present so I can be like, oh, Sanaya.
As an example, he's just using me now.
Right guys, so Sam's gonna reel this up. Quality over quantity in every aspect, especially when it comes to the sets that are pivotal, where let's say recovery capabilities are at a lesser point, you need every set to be quality. Something like a lateral raise with Sanaya, unfortunately, I think you agree.
Yeah, it's not great.
Quality drops off. First rep looks good, second rep looks okay, fifth and sixth rep starts to decline, eighth to 10th rep is not the best. So things that we can pay attention to and more so have a focus towards is that quality, making sure that every rep looks the same. Having a look at, let's say, the only challenge should be fatigue building up in the sets and almost assessing, am I getting the most out of every single rep in a set present? And something that we just almost need to tell ourselves is at the end of every set, did I get the most out of that set? Did I let the quality drop off? And if the quality drops off, I'd much rather favour somebody getting less total reps, but more quality reps. And therefore, you're going to get more out of it. So quality over quantity.
Come on.
Oh.
Yes, yes. Come on. Yeah, lovely.
Oh. Look, I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop. I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the please.
So, on to the second main press of the session. This is a very much, it's a push session, obviously, so there could be a good amount of chest and delt involvement. However, there's definitely more of a bias towards the top line men's physique, that's why. So front delt emphasis and likewise upper chest focus. So the first two presses of the session, the first one is the Cybex shoulder press, the neutral grip, big fan. I've been running that for like legitimately the past like 2 years. 7 plates for a top set, 6 plates and a 5 for a second set. Go right ahead, mate. So pretty much we started off with that, 2 sets, 2 really good sets. Because I've been doing this session with Sanaya, I haven't actually had a good run on that recently. Like it's been like 4 weeks and I think I've shaved off like 7 or 8 kilos. So stability, not the best, just due to leverages and bodyweight change. We then head into a mid incline Smith. Again, if we think about it, it's going to be a good amount of upper chest and front delt involvement. 2 sets again here. I have 5 total pressing sets for this session. So 2 sets on the Cybex shoulder press, 2 sets here, and then 1 set on the Cybex pin loaded chest press, which we've been doing at Future, just like a regular kind of pin loaded chest press. So yeah, if you think about it, 5 sets kind of distributed evenly across the relevant areas that I need to develop. Luckily for Sanaya, our emphasis as well is towards that kind of top line front delt. There's not really as much chest demand for you in your classifications, is there? So it kind of suits as well for this session. This session like aligns pretty well. So yeah, all good. 2 sets here. Let's see how they go. 2 plates, please.
Okay, I give up.
Can you stay close to me?
The whole time.
Set? Okay. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Yep.
Come on in. Lovely. Come on in. Yes, lovely. Come on. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That moved like
You're 2
it was
weeks out,
8
Reece.
reps.
You're 2 weeks out. 3 weeks out, sorry.
Right, so that set is a perfect example of having very, very low body fat and being pretty much stage conditioned, because I unwrapped that and I was like, oh yeah, sound feels good. Joints feel good, feels light. First 3 reps, flew.
Nice.
Literally moved like a 10 repper. I don't even know if that was a 4 or 5. Is it a 5 or is it a 4?
I can't remember either.
Either way,
won't I?
that's the one annoyance of being pretty lean. You get to a stage and it's like, the weight feels so light, And I don't even feel like I've done a set there, which is frustrating because that's a set that should move well. And it wasn't a bad set objectively, like load-wise, it wasn't that bad. But when it dies out, it's like,
But you count yourself lucky because it's only happening now.
Yeah, true.
And a lot of people, it happens of like.
It's still sound, the strength's fine. It's not where the strength's dropped off, it's just frustrating when, like, those are the sets that I look at and I'm like, that's just annoying because I felt like I had 5 more reps. But you have absolutely no stability. The second you lose that internal tightness, brace, core stability, it's just gone. So, yeah, part of it, get me some body fat, please. I just need some body fat.
I wouldn't mind that either.
Yeah.
For you.
You know what I was thinking we could end on? You know, we could end like the video on. Do like I did it with Aaron. Like, you know, Physio, like a rapid fire Q&A. I feel like we could do like a rapid fire like Q&A, like random questions. We got like best and worst feature about each other. It's just a joke.
What, and get Sam to ask a question?
Just quick fire, like.
What questions
what's
about?
One first impression that you? Yeah, let's shit like that's like yeah. Right, do you not want to?
No, I do, but I'm just trying to think of questions.
No, you don't have to think. It's not. There's no pressure. It's just literally just chat a bit of shit, and that's what we'll have.
Oh, I'm good at that.
Yeah, I think that's what we'll wrap up the video with. That'll be the outro. Three, 2, 1. Yep.
Yes, come on. Come on now, let's go. Yes, that's good. And again. Come on in. Yes.
Oh, sorry. Right guys, so we are now onto the chest press of the session. Like I said, we've been doing a horizontal chest press instead of this, but this is the Cybex Eagle chest press. Pretty decent chest press, all things considered. I quite like it. We have just one set here. Now, I place a intentional pause in the lengthened. This is just due to, mechanically, my pecs are going to have a little bit more umps in that length and range. Our ability to get them short is already going to be somewhat diminished based on the fact that I've done 4 pressing sets. So just one set here, pretty much just slight pause in the lengthened. I do the stack and I just have a slightly higher rep alternative. I say a slightly higher rep alternative, I just have a higher rep set. So stack for as many reps as possible, pause in the lengthened, and really trying to initiate the movement through the chest. This is an exercise that's quite easy to flare your elbows, get a good amount of front delt, not too much chest. So really trying to focus on driving my elbow up and across the midline. And because of the angle, there's going to be an upward trajectory anyway. So there's going to bias a little bit more upper pec, which for what I need, probably isn't a bad idea. So yeah, one set here. However, I do believe Finn is going in on his set right now. So I'm basically a spotter in the session. So I'm going to go give Finn a spot.
I don't know if I said upright.
Alright. Good, easy, moving well. Lovely. Brace and go, mate. Brace and go. Drive. Yes, and again, and again, and again. Come on. World-class spot, that.
I tried, I'm so sorry.
Sam, have you got that? That's when you've got a shelf. That one, I've not got a shelf on this side. Shelf, sat on my top shelf. That's when my upper chest is just so well developed. Just sat there the whole set. Fantastic. That was a good set. Slight pause in the lengthened. Double-digit reps.
Really good spot.
A fantastic spot. I don't know if you got, Sanaya was like,
Lunging.
that was everything from her. That was literally like her entire body weight. So,
The thing is, it's coming up.
yeah, it's
So
hard.
I've got to
It
be able
is
to
hard
pull
to
the
spot.
weight.
It is hard to spot. So that's the pressing work done of the session. 5 sets, 5 pretty good sets. Like at this point, Like, I don't like to say at this point, like, oh, it's gonna be hard, but all the sets were sound, just a bit of stability, which is normal when you lean. So yeah, it's part of it. It's a bit frustrating, but you've got to take it, and it's part of a competition prep. My last prep, I got way too, in my own head, I'd say, I got a little bit too emotional towards numbers and attachments, and like, my numbers haven't regressed. My strength's still there, it's just, I've not got the same oomph, which is expected at this point. So you got to take the positives. Pump's been really good, which is nice. And this is at my lowest body weight. I haven't even mentioned, I was 98.6 kilos. So 20 kilos down from the start of prep and 26 kilos down from peak body weight. Crazy. Clearly I was too fat. So yeah, all good, all is good. Moving on to 2 sets of a pec fly. I don't actually logbook the fly work in this session. I literally just do 2 sets. Can I get the most out of my chest in those 2 sets? And then I move into 4 sets for triceps, a little bit of laterals just to get a bit of a pump there, and then I go through some posing. So yeah, all good, all good. What is the main aim of a pec fly there, Sanaa? Q&A time. Like, what am I thinking about? What's the main thought process? What? Elbows? Huh?
In.
Elbows in, elbows across. That is one thing that drives me mad when it comes to like form feedback, which I did a reel about, which should be out by the time this video is out, on the last like in-person afternoon with Reese Fit. Rest day afternoon, that's what we did last week. Yeah, form feedback, elbows. On a pec fly, if we think about the insertion point and the origin of the pec, your hands are irrelevant. Your hands mean nothing. So a lot of people will do a fly and they think about just dragging their hands in, and their hands will touch, but their elbows are bent. And the main aim is getting that humerus across the midline. It's such a common cliche, what coaches will say, humerus elbow across the midline of the pec, but legitimately it is everything when it comes to getting the pec fully short, which the pec fly is all about getting the pec fully short. So get your elbows across, forget your hands, get your elbows across. Quality over quantity. That's going to be the tagline, quality over quantity. Right, so exercise selection. Now, in any phase, exercise selection is imperative. It's something that I will talk about continuously in any phase when you want to be as productive as possible. However, in a prep, especially towards the latter end, leverages are going to be changing, stability is going to be coming down, especially when it comes to presses. Body weight is going to be a main driver of your total stability. So as you'll be able to see, maybe in the reel, definitely in the YouTube video, the exercise selection that I'm choosing for my presses are pretty much based off the fact of movements that provide me the most amount of stability possible. So in my off seasons, when I'm fatter, I will be doing dumbbell presses, I'll probably have some barbell presses. They're fun, they're big, main compound movements, and I'd love to be able to do them productively in a fat loss phase and in a prep. And they can be executed for the beginning periods, but eventually you'll have to swap them out. And I think in most cases, it makes sense to swap them out earlier. So I set myself up when I ran my pre-prep phase and my pre-prep phases with the exercises that I knew that I was going to be able to run with and ideally progress for the longest amount of time possible in my prep. So therefore my strength wasn't dropping off. This is a mistake that plenty of people make, so don't make the mistake. Be clever, choose exercises that you can progress with long term and stick with them. Now that's a good reel. That was a good reel. No rambling, efficiency. Right guys, so that is the push session with Sanaa from Sanaa Fitness Posing and Sanaa Kelly, is that you?
It's Sanaa Kelly now, yeah.
Sam, put up a handle like Sanaa Kelly from Sanaa Kelly with two Y's. Either way, that's the session done. It was a good session. Like I said during the actual session itself, like when you're pretty much stage conditioned, like there's probably going to be a few sets where they don't go to didn't go to plan. It's just you don't have the same stability, which is part of the process. My training's been really, really good, and my training still is good. It's just not the same, and that's what you have to deal with. So yeah, really productive session relative to where I'm at in this current phase. Everything's ticking over nicely, and what I thought we'd do is we kind of go for a bit of a different sort of outro. So we've got Sam, videographer. Basically, we're going to do a bit of a Q&A, and if we had planned this correctly, we would have probably put like a question box up. And people might not be interested, but people might be interested. So Sam's going to ask us a few questions. It's going to be rapid fire. We're not going to be trying to. I'm not going to try and make it like. I don't want to be doing them in detail.
It's just going to be quick, isn't it?
Yeah. So Sam, questions. Have you got any? You can have this.
No, I don't.
Who swiped up to who?
Oh, we argue about. Well, I don't argue.
No, we know the answer.
No, we do.
No. So
No,
Sanaya had messaged. Sanaya had originally followed me.
Yeah, I followed you
And
because I found your account.
I then messaged her like a few joking messages, like just me just being a bit of a lad.
Yeah.
And then
And I took an interest.
And Sanaya took an interest, but I didn't really take an interest. I was just joking. And she was then messaging me a fair few times, but I just wasn't replying.
Fair few. We're talking about like twice responding back to a story.
4 times probably. And then eventually I said to Finn, I remember the conversation, we were in a lockdown, and I said to Finn, this Sanaya like girl keeps messaging me, and Finn was like, oh mate, you should message her, you should reply to her. And I was like, yeah, it's not really my type. And then that's what I said, and then I actually met her and I was like, oh, she is my type. So, and here we are, it's been 2 and a bit years.
So there's a bit of mix and match, I'd say.
Yeah, it was like I initiated the initial message, but then I didn't really follow up.
I thought you were a bit of a twat when I first started speaking to you.
Yeah, she didn't. She thought I was.
I didn't really like you to begin with. I remember speaking to Lewis and going, have you heard of that Reese Fit guy? I think he's a bit of a twat. And then I started talking to you, so clearly.
There we go.
Clearly I didn't mind.
Next question.
What's the best thing about training together?
Ooh.
I'd say for me is that you push me a lot more.
Okay.
Within the off season, not much in a prep,
Yeah.
but like even just you being there
Yeah,
helps me
our
train a bit harder.
Yeah, our training sessions are pretty productive. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's got a good balance. We don't always train. We only really ever train together, like we said in the video, when we're away together on holiday or if we're in a different sort of place. So it's not all the time.
Yeah.
But
I
we
quite
train
like
well.
it because we have a balance
Yeah.
as well. Like you'll talk to me, you won't talk to me, but I like the same kind of atmosphere. Whether
Yeah.
some people just talk too much or don't talk at all.
Yeah, like there's a good balance. It's
Yeah.
not just like we're in a relationship, so therefore we're like lovey-dovey in the gym. But then at
No.
the same time, it's not like we're in the gym and we're like, yeah, got to get after it, brother. Let's go. Let's fucking train hard. That's not how we are. So yeah.
Alright, what's the worst thing about training together?
Ooh.
Oh, I know mine. I've actually got 2.
Here we go. Cheers. Sound.
My first one is taking the plates on and off.
Yeah, I can
It's
understand
such
that.
a task. Like
I'm
that's
just
the
so
one.
strong.
Yeah. The second one is after the session. It takes about 30 minutes before we can leave because I have to take photos of Reese. Now I don't mind it because I support you, but it's like 5 rounds of posing and constant tapping for 30 minutes.
And just wait till I'm a open BB and I've got to go through actual proper rounds.
And it's
Then
not that I
physique,
hate it, it's
front
just
and
I
back.
get tired. Like I don't mind it for
Yeah.
5 minutes and it's like, can you just hurry up please? I'm done.
Okay, worse for me. Sanaya can't do a set without asking me, what do you reckon I should do? And it's like, I don't know how it felt. Just, you know your strength better than me. You moved away and after every single set it'll be, what do you reckon I should
It's
do?
because
And
I
I'm
want you to tell me, like, I want you to like,
coach you.
not
That's all it is.
coach me, but I want you to almost
It's that
like,
reaffirmation of me and Finn used to do it where we'd say to each other, what do you reckon? And
Yeah.
I think you eventually get so in tune that like you can tell off a warm. I know instantly what Finn's gonna do.
no, but if you
know.
said, the thing is though, in my mindset, if you said do one more, I'll do one more. If you
Yeah.
said do a higher weight, I'll do it. But if I was to just do it, I wouldn't do that, and then I might not surprise myself.
Okay.
So that's why I ask you, because like if he eggs me on, then I'll do it. Like
Okay.
I'm not going to say no.
Good mentality.
Who is smarter?
We've got different levels of
Yeah,
intelligence.
your spec of intelligence is all the way over there, and my spec
Yeah.
of intelligence is all the way over here. I think as a collective, we're generally
I'd say,
quite
yeah.
intelligent people.
Yeah, I'd say so. We've got
I
different
wouldn't say
levels
one of us is
yeah,
more
we've got-
dumb than the other.
We've got different levels of knowledge. Like Sanaya's a lot more silly than me. In day-to-day conversation, you talk to Sanaya and go, Jesus Christ, she's a bit
But I
ditzy
can
at
turn
times."
it on.
But Sanaya's like academically way more switched on than I would be. But that being said, you say that because I class my academical kind of capabilities based on my uni quals.
I'm
But that's
getting a
because
first.
yeah, but that
What did you
wasn't.
get?
not a first, but that was because I was coaching and I wasn't applying myself fully.
Yeah, but
then
I'm
if I
posing
was-
full time, and I didn't apply myself fully, but I still got a first.
Yeah, but she goes to clown uni, so all you have to do, her dissertation was like 6,000 words.
I just had like reports and stuff, so it was just a different
Clown
aspect
uni.
of it.
Right, next one.
Sanaya, what would you rate Reese out of 10?
Ooh.
Personality and then looks.
Oh, if I'm not a 10, but
Yeah, like
God.
uh,
I'd say I'm just like,
can I do off season and prep?
sure. So
No, so we've got
no, because we've got different phases. Like I feel like now I look at myself and think, Jesus Christ, I look unwell. But then I look at myself peak off season, I think I also
look
unwell.
unwell.
There's like a middle ground. Like for Sanaya, I prefer, like objectively, I prefer Sanaya when
Reese
she's
doesn't
fat.
like me lean, yeah.
No, I saw a video that popped up on a TikTok when she was in Turkey, when we were in Turkey, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Like I was like, yeah, my sex drive's been dead for 12 weeks, but it came back
It
for
has
like
been.
10 seconds, and I was like, yeah, I could get into that.
But then he looks at me what I actually look like and thinks, nah.
Yeah, a bit skinny. Yeah, but that's normal. I think that's quite normal, and it's good that we can be honest and open with each other.
Yeah, you keep going.
Like, yeah.
I don't know, like of course like 10 out of 10. I think personality wise, I've had to adapt to you a lot
Hmm.
in the sense of your sarcasm and how upfront you are and how much like I'm not like we don't talk that much.
No.
We talk like twice a day.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one
and
thing.
I've had to adapt to that a lot.
Yeah,
but
that's
I
one
actually benefit from it more than I thought I would.
Sam, for me, what do I rate Sanaya?
In prep, 1.
No, you've been a lot better this time. Sanaya's wicked. Like we got on really well.
Last
Like,
prep was hard.
Yeah, last prep was tough, but we weren't really in a relationship, and I being honest, like we both didn't really have the same feelings for each other. We literally got straight into a prep.
3 months into speaking.
Yeah, and it was like off a lockdown, and it wasn't the best foundations, but it wasn't like a bad relationship. It was just we didn't really connect well with each other, and you need to go into a prep with a good connection. If you don't,
Yeah.
you're probably going to struggle, especially if you're both battered at the same time. Which, unfortunately, both times we prepped each other.
You know
So,
what though,
yeah.
like we both had a conversation and we both said like we were quite anxious about us prepping together again
Yeah.
because obviously my prep got pushed forwards.
Mhm.
But I have to say, considering how many weeks out we are, this is absolutely we've been sound,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely sound. Like
Yeah.
there's been no issues, nothing.
Other than when I take loads of tren and then beat her up, because that's what happens. You take
Oh
tren.
yeah, when you down the D-bowl to calm yourself down.
Yeah, download the
Yeah.
D-ball in a prep. That's what you do. So
I don't know.
people should know this is a joke. That's a joke. Right, Sam. Any more?
Who handles prep better?
Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
question though. Last time, both of us awful, and you'll say different, but I think both of us in different ways were awful.
I was only awful based off of Sanaya.
But I was
In any
only
other
awful
si-
based off Reese.
No.
Because with
No.
Beth, she said I was absolutely fine, but then
Okay, fair enough.
aspects,
Well, no, that's your opinion.
aspects
That's
with
my
you,
opinion. Yeah.
I was stressed about.
This time, we've both been sound. Like,
I think with tiredness, I'm a bit more aggy.
yeah.
You're very short and quiet
I'm just quiet. I just won't say much.
and short.
Yeah. Sanaya's more like
I'll vocally express how I'm feeling, whether
which-
Reese goes.
Yeah, I just don't say anything.
Yeah.
Which I think is, in my opinion, I'd say are probably a bit easier to be around, because if no one talks, you go, oh, sound, he's just a bit battered.
Yeah, but
Where
I
if
like to talk.
someone's constantly like they're moving around and it's like that's draining.
I don't do I'm just like, okay, yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, it's draining to be around, especially when you're battered. But you part of the parcel. You've got to embrace it. That's kind of how it is. So, yeah.
Yeah, we're doing alright, aren't we?
Right, Sam, is that it? Do you reckon? Or do any other ones that
yeah,
pop
I'm
up?
done. I'm done.
Yeah, that's it. Right, that's the video. Thanks to
Thanks
Sanaya.
for watching, guys. Please
Yeah.
follow me.
Yeah, please follow Sanaya. Please follow me. Like the video. Subscribe. Shout out to Sam for the questions. And yeah, that'll be that. See you later, guys.